What? Is that Samuel L. Jackson?
Oh man!
Welcome to Bears Banter. Welcome to week number 17. Chicago Bears lose to the Green Bay Packers 35-16. Today on the broadcast, you have myself, Bernard Muhammad. You have Keith Flournoy, Guy Moore, Donte Williams, Jaye Beasley, Tammy Harris, and I don't know, that's like Martin Lawrence down there.
Samuel L. Jackson.
Anger.
I had to clear for Mike for a second.
Where's Mike? Mike Outen is gone. This quick.
No, I'm gonna go get him real quick. I gotta go get him. I had to man, after that stuff the other day, I think he got jumped because he said he knew Jay. I don't know. Let me go get him. I'll be right back. I'll go get him.
Hey, today we got one of those bittersweet games. You know, we lose to the Whackers 35-16, but we ended up getting a blessing because the Cardinals lose to the Rams today. So we did make the playoffs.
Hey, all right, I'll take it.
I'll take it, man.
Hey,
Playoffs.
You got to get in to have a chance. You get in the playoff, anything can happen. I remember a few years ago, it might have been about a decade ago, seemed like, but the Seattle Seahawks went to the playoff, I want to say, with a 7-9 record.
Yeah.
And that was Russell Wilson first.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, you know, no way you would have thought that team being 7-9 that they was going to go anywhere. You figured they'd get bounced in the first round. And if I'm correct, they went to the Super Bowl and lost to the Patriots that year.
Yeah, that was Matt Hasselbeck and Sean Alexander and them guys.
It sure was. Was.
Okay.
Yeah, they were 7-9, a wild card team, and the Packers actually made the Super Bowl as a wild card team as well.
Packers.
So anything can happen.
He's still talking about the Packers.
Hey, y'all know me. Hey, I'm a realist. And I keep it real. My prediction was 38-17.
What?
It was 35-16. I was close.
Jay, you put that voodoo on us. Put the voodoo.
Hey, you know what? As far as I'm concerned, you're a little too happy about being right about that. I got a problem with that.
They can have some of Miss Millie's pie.
I'm just keeping it real.
I said, screw them. They can have some of Miss Millie's pie.
Ooh, we got Miss Cleo on the show. Miss Cleo, call me now. Predicting the dang on score. That was bad luck, Jay. That was bad luck. That's all I'm gonna say.
It was bad luck. Hey,
He a little too excited about it. That's all I'm saying. I got a problem with that.
It was a bad secondary. It wasn't bad luck.
I'm just keeping it real.
Your face.
I'm just keeping it real.
Okay.
I'm just keeping it
You're
real.
right.
I'm good, though.
Let it go.
I'm happy. I'm happy because guess what? I would have been mad had I been at Soldier Field tonight and they lost their game. So I got the best of both worlds.
Yeah, I'm just trying to cut off stuff at the pass because as soon as you happy about that, Bernard's gonna start talking about. Well, I'm predicting them with 6-10. There's no end to this, okay?
Oh man.
Yeah, but I'm good though. I'm happy we made the playoffs. And like I said, once you get in, anything can happen because the bottom line is, you know, Mitch, once again, every game he makes the one boneheaded play. Why can't he just eliminate the one boneheaded play for the entire game? He does it every game. But
one play did not lose the game.
No, it didn't.
But you know what? But we need to go ahead and address the elephant in the room. We talk about Buster Screen Lights, your boy Shelly. Shelly got burnt like a bad toaster, man. It was like horrible. I'm looking up anytime you like doing like this on every play and the guys in front of you. Horrible.
Hey,
I mean, he's a first-year player, though. He's a first-year player. So, I mean, it's one of them things where, you know, I mean, although he got drafted last year, this is first-year player. So, I mean, you can't blame the guy. But
yes, you can.
No, what we need to address and I don't want to get ahead of the show. But what we need to address is Pagano and his defense that he was playing. Oh
we
my
absolutely
God,
do. You're right.
I got some stuff.
Yeah, I have some real problems with that. Yeah. Oh my God, yeah.
I think Nagy was calling defense today. I think that's what happened.
Hey, before we get
Buster Screen was on the sidelines like this. I bet you ain't gonna get him. I bet you ain't gonna get him. Like, oh no, you didn't.
Hey, before we get to the first question today, we were laughing about something, and those who missed the show on Wednesday could get an opportunity to see one of those classic moments that you have on Bears Banter before we start getting to the questions. But Jay happened to be the only one right, so on Twitch TV. But I just want to recap our scores real quick. We have guys, the Bears winning 24-20. Plank has the Bears winning 25-23. Yeah. Tammy has the Bears winning 33-30. I have the Bears winning 38-33. Jay has the Bears losing 38-17. And Mike.
Hey, look, I got Jay. You got me going into witness protection, Jay. I don't even
see. And you know what? I take it from Will. Oh,
who is Jay? Who is Jay?
You know my cousin Peebo.
Yeah, hey, I don't know no Jay. I don't know no Jay. No.
Oh my God!
That's like my favorite. That's my favorite moment of this whole season, man. That's my favorite moment by far, man.
That is hilarious. That is hilarious.
Oh man!
Yeah,
man, I've been laughing at that for the last 3 days.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
That me too, and it was me, and I was like, that dude is nuts.
Hey, but meanwhile, while you saunter into our podcast, look into your top right-hand screen and see our resident young man, Mr. Draymond Green. He's the only serious guy here. The rest of us, I just did that. I got him. Yes. We got a smile. I made him smile. I made you smile, man. That's all I wanted to do. Bam.
Hey,
that's all right.
You're supposed to be happy all the time.
Right.
You ain't even got arthritis yet, man. You out here. You should be like this, like, man. I can't wait to get out of here, man. I'm gonna do whatever. Man, we sitting up here like
it's Sunday.
Is my knee gonna work?
We just lost. I mean, ain't nothing to be happy about.
Honestly.
Hey,
you will learn you have to smile to keep from crying.
There you go.
Let's get started on the first question today is what happened today? Who wants to start off displaying what happened as far as for those who just tuning in?
I think we should let Jay go first and get it out the way.
Yeah, let's let Jay go first since Jay is Mr. Packers gonna win.
I can tell y'all what happened today. No touchdowns in the red zone.
Yeah,
we got in the red zone and scored. We scored one touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
That's what happened with the Bears today.
Mm-hmm.
Playing a team like the Packers, when you get in the red zone, you have to score touchdowns. When we got the turnover on the muff punt, and we wind up getting 3, you can't do that. You can't do that. So that's what happened with the Bears today. The Bears did not score in the red zone. That's all I got to say.
Yeah.
But you said more than enough, and that's what it is, man. Real talk, man.
We hear you, Dino. Good point, but we're still playing. Okay.
Damn you, Jay.
Hey, you want to go, Tammy?
Yeah, I agree with Jay. The 3 field goals that we had should have been touchdowns. The one Jay was talking about. The one that I was texting y'all about, where Montgomery was fighting for it. He had like 4 or 5 shirts on him. I'm like, where's the team? Like, they could have pushed him 2 yards with forward progress, and everybody would have just piled on. Like, where were they at? Like, I don't understand. Like, I've seen that before, but like, why weren't we doing it? What were the other players doing? Who were they guarding? So the neither the offense nor the defense were completely effective today. I mean, I think that some players played with a lot of heart and some played with more than others. If Hart could have won this game, Montgomery and Mooney would have won us this game because they played with more heart than anybody else out there on that field to me. But the defense, again, playing too loose, no pressure, lacks coverage. It was just, I'm like, what are they doing? I'm like, missed tackles. And then the offense just wasn't getting in the red zone. And somebody was posting that they heard a rumor that Nagy is calling plays again, which some of those plays look like
Yeah, he doing too much. But you know what? Hey, I'll go. Hey, check this out. There are 3 players that I want to single out today. My guy Montgomery, who's been my dude from day one. That dude bust his knee up. I saw it hyperextension. We were like, and he came back in, did his thing, does what he normally does, runs hard. Mooney got the heart of a lion. I got to give it up to him. But one guy that y'all probably would least expect me to give some kudos to, because he only played a little bit of time. No, not him. Barkevius Mingo. Mingo don't get no time, but every time he gets in, it's like he makes a play. I mean, you got to think about this, like something that Jay touched on. I'm sitting up here looking like, okay, what is Chuck Pagano doing? Is he like putting plays in a jar and like shaking a jar and pulling out something? There's nowhere in the world you're supposed to have Trevathan on coverage with a receiver. Now, even if he just push came to shove, it was Mingo, and he's a much faster guy. But when I saw that, and I was like, oh, Lord Jesus. But what happened to us is on both sides of the ball, man, we made too many mistakes, way too many mistakes. And this is not going to be good for us next week because it's a clean slate. And these guys are coming out hard, hungry, trying to get a chip. If we play like this, we get blown out next week.
Yeah.
Okay. I got your point. I got you, Bernard. So I think from a scheme standpoint, we did a pretty poor defensive scheme. To Tammy's point, to Jay's point, to Guy's point, you cannot have a middle linebacker trying to keep up with a wide receiver 40 yards down the field. So that was just bad scheming. As far as offensively, I like the tempo. I like some of the things that Laser was doing. I like the tempo of the game. I'm gonna put this loss on 3 players specifically from a defensive standpoint. Mack, Quinn, and Jackson. We're gonna put them into the witness protection program. And here's the thing: we're gonna let them wear their Bears jersey because people will never believe that was actually them. They didn't show up. They didn't play worth anything. So, big players are supposed to come up in big games. This was the opportunity, and they all came out with a goose egg. So. And thank you, Dino.
Hey, Plank, I'm giving you one of these. I'm giving you a shot for this, man. That's prolific. That is totally prolific. This is like on point, man.
Right.
Who we got now? Mike or Donte?
Mike.
Go ahead. Oh, you can go. It don't matter.
Well, basically, it looks like Buster Screen came back and put on number 20 and played today for some reason. Duke Shelley gets a grade of Dookie. I mean, I'm sitting there looking at one-on-one coverage, and I play DB, and you just can't get beat like that. I mean, there are plays where we get beat. But I mean, he was running, praying like drop the ball.
Yeah.
And Trevathan, those 2 plays, one Valdez caught, the other one he didn't. I was looking at Trevathan like this dude is gonna die trying to even catch this guy. But our defense, I've said it all year. I mean, the linebackers can't cover, and that's what's gonna hurt us all the time. We're missing Jalen Johnson, which probably could have helped us a lot. We don't do a lot on the defensive side. And I'm going to be real honest with you. I like the offense today.
Yeah,
it really boiled down to one throw on that 4th and 1 on the ball that he tried to get to Allen Robinson. The whole game came down to that one throw. I didn't like the play call because it was to the short side of the field, rolling Mitch out to the short side, didn't give him many options but to throw the ball to Robinson. But I really, man, when the Bears came out, I was like, uh-oh. Running the ball, you got to run the ball, and Each team had the ball one time in the first quarter,
Yep.
which is what you really want to see because we're okay. We're not excellent in
Yeah.
all phases of the game, and that's what happened. We got taken out in the back in the woodshed, and Aaron Rodgers got us again. That's all.
Yeah, basically.
But the
Hey, but
first
you know
quarter
what?
was solid, but I disagree. It didn't come down to one play. That one play hurt, but 3 field goals and no touchdowns in the red zone.
In the red zone.
Field
Yeah.
goals.
Thank you, Tammy. In the red zone.
Yeah.
In the red zone.
Yeah.
3 field goals in the red
So
zone.
the offense was not amazing. Like I wouldn't say that they were okay. You had 3 possible touchdowns and not one of them was one. So they were not up to par.
On my Facebook post couple months ago, I said that Mitchell Trubisky is the best at getting a field goal drive. So he does that all the time. And I mean, and it's not always on him. When you look at it, they didn't throw the ball to Allen Robinson.
Right.
Nope.
Who's this
They
guy?
didn't throw the ball to Jimmy Williams.
Hey, somebody got some,
Yeah.
hey,
Well,
somebody got some backup. I'm sorry, Mike. Somebody got some background music. Some
Somebody
background
got
music going on.
Sorry, somebody got a train in their house.
It ain't me.
But you know what though? Hey, we got to give kudos to Dino Ivory. He says the pass play on the 4th down was the backbreaker.
He's right.
Regardless of everything that we did, that 4th down, that play right there was the one where we was like, man,
That was just dumb.
that
How
killed
are
that.
you? How do you go 4th and 4? How do you go 4th and 4 on 4th down, and then on the 5th time you try it, you run a pass play?
That was dumb. That was dumb.
That was just a bad call. It was a bad play call. It was just a bad play call.
Hey, is somebody shooting like a porn video on an L platform?
I don't have nothing. I turned
That
down the
mustache out there. Yeah, I think it's Dante's turn. You ready, bro?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Oh, okay. I was wondering if you could hear us. Okay.
It was really 2 things. For one, our secondary is horrible. It's been horrible for like the past 4 or 5 games.
Yep.
It started with Valdez Scantling getting that the Bears tried to call themselves blitzing Aaron Rodgers. Then somehow Valdez Scantling was down the field by himself. So then it started there. And 2, the Packers they scouting report on Montgomery and Allen Robinson. Because Montgomery only had 3 yards of carry. And he carried the ball over 20 times. So that just explained it right there. And Allen Robinson only had 2 receptions all game. So the Packers did their scouting report.
Yeah.
And they just looked more fired up on defense. And really the thing that scared me is Devontae Adams didn't even play. This wasn't Aaron Rodgers or Devontae Adams' best game together. It wasn't.
Yeah.
Aaron Jones only had 40 yards. Devontae Adams only had 40 yards. Like, I don't know. That scares me.
I'll tell
And
you.
the fact they're going into the playoffs and we might have to play them is scary.
So be it. I'll tell you what. I like the tempo of that. I think that's actually how we have to play against Green Bay. We have to slow the game down, run the ball, get these long drives. It didn't work out today, but I can see exactly what we were trying to do. So let's try to streamline that. If we play them again, I think we got a much better chance than people might give us. But we get ready for New Orleans. So
they did good in the 3rd quarter, though. They did really good in the 3rd quarter.
what happened in the 3rd
But
quarter?
no, we had
They didn't let Aaron Rodgers score. He kind of was off his tempo in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah,
And I feel like the Bears could have made a
We've
comeback.
been doing that all year, though. All year we sucked in the 3rd quarter, and the last 3 or 4 games we've been pretty decent.
I'm saying they held Aaron Rodgers in the 3rd quarter. They didn't score 1 touchdown. So I thought
He
it
wasn't on
could
the
have been worse. It could have been worse than what it was. They could
That's
have had
scary.
40.
Yeah.
They could have
That's
had
scary.
40.
You're right.
But you know what? But you know what?
Yeah,
sorry.
what I like to say
No, go
is what I think happened in this game today is the Bears don't really have a bread and butter play in the red zone. It's like sometimes when they get in the red zone, it's not they don't look like they know what they want to do. And one of the things that I noticed all year they make this mistake most times this year is they take Jimmy Graham out in the red zone, and it seems like they want Cole Kmet.
Yeah.
They want him on his
Thank you.
quick slant, but Mitch is not a great quick slant thrower, and they should be having Graham in there when they get in the red zone. So their inability to convert in the red zone today kind of haunted them. And also the defense. The defense is just too soft. The defense, I mean, they made some stops when they needed to, but the defense is too soft. They secondary cannot cover at all. And I don't understand them allowing their linebackers to cover. They can't even cover the tight end. So why are you letting their linebackers cover receivers? That actually makes no sense at all. I don't get that at all. That makes no sense.
Jaye got to work today.
Hey, Zim, what you got going on?
What's up, Zim?
Zim! What's up, Zim? Happy New Year, brother. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Hey, you got set? Hold on, let's give him a few minutes to get set. All right. Hey, Donte, you got the game stats?
Cole Komet can't jump. I got it. I
got
can
game
share
stats?
it when you're ready.
Okay.
Yes, sir. And we're going to have Donte go ahead and speak to it if that's okay, I guess.
Yep.
Let's go. What we got?
Give Jimmy a few minutes to get settled.
What's up, Bears Banter?
Hey, what's up?
Happy New Year! Happy New Year!
Happy New Year to you.
Hey, I just wanted to come on and tell you guys what a great job y'all did this year, man.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Thank you, man.
Team, I really enjoyed the show for the last 16 weeks. Appreciate the opportunity to come on and be with you from time to time. But I wanted to say you made the football season a heck of a lot better. And you guys did an awesome job, and you got an amazing team. So I just wanted to pop on and tell you that.
Well, thanks, bro.
Much love, man. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you.
Yeah, y'all did.
Thank you.
You know, the Bears couldn't pull out a win today, but I guess they made the playoffs, right?
Yeah.
Hey, Bernard, I got a suggestion. We're gonna have to get Dino on here because he got all kind of stuff to say.
Yeah, he still do.
Hey, he making great points though.
Excellent point. I'll sit up here like, damn.
But Graham make touchdowns.
I just sent Dino the link.
I'm looking at this dude shaking my head, but you know what? Hey, something else that I want to piggyback. Piggyback on real quick on what Donte was saying. This is a difference between playoff teams that go far and guys who are also rans. I mean, look at your boy. Devontae Adams had 40 yards. You say he had 40 yards, but when did he have the 40 yards? When they really need.
When they really counted.
And that's why you can't. A lot of times when you come to something like that, you can't really look at stats because stats doesn't tell you the whole picture. Say if Donte Adams has 40 yards and he's doing nothing during the whole game, but on a pivotal, like say 3rd and 8, he gets like 9 yards for a first down and gives him momentum. You won't see that in the stat sheet, but as a person that watches it and looks at him, he's like, that's the reason why they did whatever. So yeah, but that was a great point though, Donte. Great point, man.
Yeah, you see it in there.
Can't jump.
Let's move to the stats again.
I got him up.
Okay.
Let me know when you're ready to share.
Okay. Donte, it's all yours.
Okay, we're going to start with the Bears. Mitch Trubisky had 252 yards. The Bears' passing yards were 248 yards.
Yeah.
They had 108 rushing yards. That's the lowest they had in the last 4 games, I believe. And the total yards they had was 356 yards. On the other hand, Aaron Rodgers had 240 yards. He was 19 to 24, pretty efficient. Their passing yards was 237, rushing yards 79, total yards 316, and their time of possession, which I didn't do the Bears, but you can see the difference in the Packers and the Bears. The Packers were 24-31, so they were able to score 30-some points in way less time than the Bears.
Right.
So that just says the Bears' defense was awful, honestly.
Well, actually, Bernard, if you remember, one of the things that I said was the key to win this week is that we needed to limit their successful offensive play. So it looks like we outgained them, we outrushed them, we had time of possession, but we gave up 35 points. How did that happen? So, they were scoring really quickly on us, and it looked like we didn't put up much of a resistance at all. Tanya, thank you for the notes. You keep promising you're going to come on, too, so I'm not going to speak to you again until you come on.
But let's move to the next question.
I'm ready for some more women to come on here. Come on.
Yeah. How was Trubisky's performance today? You got it, guy? Okay.
Oh, okay, I'm up.
The sweat hogs.
But I got to give Mitch like maybe a borderline C, if not a C minus, and the reason being is it goes to the whole thing of what we were talking about. It's like you can do like 9 things great, but that one thing bad that you do kind of sort of changes the landscape of everything that you tried to build. He did that with the interceptions. I mean, like the Mitch Trubisky now as opposed to Mitch Trubisky before he got benched. Totally different quarterback. I give him credit for that. And I know a lot of people get on me saying that, oh, well, you can't say, well, he only had so many games in college and such. But for someone of his pedigree who doesn't have the physical capabilities of like a Mahomes or Watson or has had the reps of the time, he's not doing too bad. But by the same token, I was always told, like as a quarterback, when you drop back and you don't see nothing and nothing is good, throw it away. I'd rather see you throw it away to get a sack or get an interception. And there were key times where even when Green Bay scored, we could have got some momentum and kind of come back, but those interceptions killed everything. So I got to give Mitch, I'll say a C minus.
A C minus? Okay.
Yeah.
Who's up next? What y'all see out of Mitch today?
I'll
Can
go
you hear
with
me?
that. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
As far as Mitch, he was a game manager for the most part, so he did some good things, but if you're going to tone the game down like that, you have to be way more accurate when you get your opportunities. So when it was time to get his opportunities, he only threw 1 interception, which isn't the worst thing I've ever seen, but he didn't come through in crunch time. So I'm going to have to give him a C.
Yeah.
Okay.
I actually give him a B.
What do you say?
I actually give him a B.
Okay.
I
You
actually
agree
give
with
him a
that?
B. Yeah, I actually give him a B because I feel like the play call. Yeah, I give him a B because I feel like the play calling once again didn't cater to his strengths. They went down the field one time with the pastimony, but how many times I text y'all like, okay, right here, naked bootleg.
Right. Right.
Come on, you got to cater to the guy's strengths, and they didn't do that today. They really didn't do that today. So I'll give him a B. Because he was efficient outside of, like I said at the beginning of the show, the bonehead interceptions. It's just, I think he just get into a fall at some point in the game. He's like, I'm gonna throw this interception regardless. But outside of that, you know what I'm saying? But outside of that, I have to give him a B because I swear they just don't cater to his strengths, man. It was a few times where I saw that he could have, the RPO was there.
Right.
He could have ran the ball. So yeah, I had to give him a B.
I want to change my grade from a C minus to just a regular old C.
A regular
Okay. A regular old C. Okay.
What you got, Mike?
You brought something, Jay. You brought something to the table, and I start thinking about it. I'm like, you know what? You're absolutely right about that. You're 100% right. So I would be remiss to kind of give him a C minus. I would have to bump him up to a C. At least he passed.
C minus is passing. Okay.
Yeah, but it looked better. But it looked better.
Well, my grade for Trubisky, I'm gonna agree with the guy that went before. As you guys know, I don't know that guy. Just so so when all you Bears fans are looking at the show, looking for people to get on, it's not me. I pick the Bears, but I give Trubisky a B because But besides the interceptions, he led that team. The Bears win the game up until the fourth quarter.
Yes, they were.
He led that team. He put them in position.
Yep.
And he made the throws. We just didn't get first downs. We only took 1 shot down the field. That may not be his fault because we got one receiver that can create separation on the deep ball. We threw 1 deep ball all game.
Man.
So, and he hit that deep ball.
Right.
So I can't take away from him the overall offensive performance. We didn't get it done, but here's the other thing too. When you're not making plays, when the total team is not making plays, he may started trying to press. And I see Mitch doing that sometimes and pressing to try to make a big play. And that's where those interceptions come. But I give him a B, just like that other dude before me.
Hey, I would say this. I give Mitch a B minus today. I thought Mitch was efficient enough based off the game plan, but I do think the game plan was not good enough. The game plan was not good enough at all because they had no plan in the red zone, and after a while, it became predictable a little bit. You was gonna roll Mitch out and try to hit Cole Kmet over in the flat. Okay, 2 or 3 times it's worked, but now once you start getting late in that game, the corners stop biting on anybody going deep, and they start running up hitting Cole Kmet. So as far as that, I give Mitch a B minus, but I think the offensive play calling was good until halftime, and then it started slipping some. And they did not use Allen Robinson enough in this game. But that's as far as the overall offense. They didn't use Allen Robinson enough. And they kind of overused Mooney today, and I hope the young man is all right.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
Yeah.
Yes, they did.
But you know what, B? Hey, I call it something that kind of sort of pegging on what Jay has always said. It's KYSS. Know your soft spots. They ran the exact same thing that we ran. They ran the exact same thing that we did. You ever notice that when guys wasn't open, they hit the guy out in the flat? Every time they got yaks. It's like those playoff teams, man. I'm telling you, it's like forget all that doggone low percentage stuff. It's like we got a guy right here. Let's just drop it off and let him do his thing. But you're right about that, man. They should have done a better job setting Mitch up as far as, to his strengths and weaknesses. I was going to say C.
Hey, what do you have, KIFS?
I'll give him a C plus. I can give him a B. Because even though some of it was definitely on the play calling, the quarterback is the leader on the field. And when it came time to make some things happen, he didn't make them happen. So he didn't come through. He didn't, at times, I don't know if anybody else saw it, but at times to me, it didn't look like he was as confident as he had seemed to be growing to be. I saw a lot of doubt in his face, and it was like almost
really
in his fear in his face to me. And like a lot of the plays that they were supposed to be like trick plays, fake run plays, they were like so obvious. Like Green Bay was like reading them like every single time. Like stuff wasn't disguised well. And your quarterback, I'm sorry, like this is my thing. Your quarterback 3 times in the red zone didn't make it happen.
That sounds like Nagy to me.
Tammy, look at Tammy coming out. Tammy came out swinging.
But you know what? But hey, and I will say this, and Quick being like the all-world guy that he was, a defensive back, I tell you this. There's certain types of things that a defensive back that you would know. Like, it's like, okay, if this receiver lines up like right here, or if we see the guy goes in motion, this is what I have to do, regardless of the cover 2. It's like you know the play, you know what everyone is doing, and you know the intricacies of the play, the different wrinkles. The thing is, Green Bay just seemed like they adjusted to everything we did, and our guys were like, okay, well, if they run it, we're going to be all right, but we're going to do this.
Aaron Rodgers called 2 plays majority of the times. Mm-hmm. And so they adjust. We don't make adjustments. That's on Laser. That's Tammy's guy. Laser.
I think that was Nagy. That all looked like Nagy to me.
I think Nagy calling some plays.
Nagy is the habitual line stepper on this damn offense.
What you got, Zim? What you think?
How was Trubisky's performance?
I'd give him a C as well.
I'm gonna go down.
Fair to give him a C for one reason. We know that it's a coach-dominated play calling team, and the Bears are making college or high school mistakes. Because now with coaching, they try to control everything on the field, right? And everybody knows that players have a better vantage point than anybody on the sideline. And right now, the Bears are playing very, very juvenile, very infantile from the coaching to the player relationship because they don't trust their players. And what you're seeing with Trubisky is just what you see in the NBA. they drafting these people that don't have a lot of experience, and what we have to understand
Potential.
is
They drafted
that
on
it's gonna
potential.
take 4-5 years for them to even have a clue.
Yes.
What they're supposed to do. So they're developing right before our eyes, and they're either going to make it or they're not, and then they're going to get canned. So, it's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Drafted on potential.
Hey,
Drafted
Zim,
on
Zim,
potential.
I agree.
Zim, I need you to do me a favor, brother. Will you talk to your team, Bernard, and tell him to stop fronting and put his glasses on?
Hey, get off him, man. He got his contacts in. He look cute.
Correct.
That's his handsome look. What?
I know he done popped him in. Hey, he on camera, man. He gotta be flossing.
It's like you see my side profile.
What you got to say? I'm gonna refer back to what Jay said earlier with that pass to Mooney, but I'll say a B minus, Bernard. I'm gonna have to agree with you on that one. But I feel like the Bears could have ran more play action. Obviously Mooney's a fast player. I feel like he could have burnt a lot of those cornerbacks and to what guys said, how the Packers kind of knew what we were gonna do. They already know the Bears are gonna run quick slants, and they know Montgomery might get the ball. So I felt like they could have been creative and ran more play action, and that could have got Mitch Trubisky on the move a lot more outside the pocket. So I feel like it's too many different opinions on the play call, and I feel like Mitch Trubisky's not getting a lot of leeway on his end because they went from calling that play action to doing the same stuff over again.
Absolutely.
And the Bears got a lot of third and fourth downs they could have converted on. They didn't. They kind of knew Montgomery's gonna get the ball. They was gonna do a run to the right, to the left, and yeah, the Bears they got to be more creative, in my opinion. They could have ran more play action, got Mitchell outside the pocket. So until they find some way for Mr. Trubisky to get outside the pocket and be more effective, I don't see the Bears. I don't see them doing anything, honestly.
Hey, and you know what? I'm sorry. Go ahead, Dante. Finish.
No, my bad. I'm done. My
bad. Dino Ivory, get your butt on this show, man. He is dropping dimes. I'm sitting up here listening to y'all. I'm reading. I'm like, this dude is up. He is on point, man. He is killing it. Dino, if you're listening right now, please partake in our parlay here. He is killing it, man. I'm just reading this. I'm like, I don't even need to do the show. I'm just gonna read what he say.
Hey, don't forget about bragging rights, too, right? We got to go over your final bragging rights. You're right.
Yeah,
Dino's been dropping dimes.
Yeah, let's go through the bragging rights.
Damn.
Whatever. You're smiling way too much, Jay. You're way too happy about this, bro.
Because I think I caught up. That's why. I think I caught up.
I don't think so.
Still a game behind.
What we have here is bragging rights. Let's get here for the bragging rights.
Hey, I got the worst.
I know Jay had
500. I'm good.
I know Jay had the last place for a long time. So we have Tammy 7-9.
That's right, Tammy. It's me and you. All right.
Okay.
Jay 8-8. I'm 8-8. Yep, we both 500. Guy 7-9. Plank 9-7, and Donte is 2-3. Yeah, can we all agree we should have just picked the Packers this week?
I don't know how
I would never pick the Packers.
We lost to a superior team this week. That's pretty clear.
Dude, we can have
much better than us. We weren't supposed to beat them. So as
we
much
can
as
have
we
22
fans
bridges.
and we wanted to say that, the Packers are just a superior team at this point.
Yes, they are.
Oh, well, you know that, but you know what? Hey, we 22. Hey, if it's 22 midgets on our squad, we playing the Packers. I'm picking the Bears. We know what the truth is, but
hey, like I say, I pick with my heart a lot of times, and we ain't got no money on this, but a lot of times, y'all know me, I'm a realist, and I just try to keep it real. I just try to keep it real. So when it comes to sports, put your wig away. Mike, put your wig away for another week. Put your
Hey, when
win
it comes to
for another
Spurs,
week, and then we'll see what happens next week.
hey, I know what you
I'm
saying
not-
about Hart. Yeah, I know what you saying about Hart, Jay. But you know what? When it comes to that, I'm wearing a pacemaker.
Right,
Hey,
man.
hey,
Hey, I like to thank everybody who's watching us right now.
Yes.
People are watching us live on Facebook, on YouTube, and on Twitch TV. We'd like to thank everybody for who tuned in tonight. Bears Banter is where the Bears fans come to meet and discuss the Bears game. Bears Banter has been a great show this year. We have some very outstanding commentaries. And one of the things that we do unique is we allow for people to join our broadcast in the middle of the broadcast that are not necessarily part of the commentary team, which is great. So for those who just tuned in for the first time, since we're new on Twitch TV, the young man to my, I guess that would be my left, that's Keith Flournoy. Guy, why don't y'all raise your hands? Keith Flournoy, Guy Moore, Donte Williams, Jaye Beasley at the bottom, Tammy Harris, Mike Alton, and then also coming on as a guest tonight is Emerson Bowie. He's one of the top law enforcement in the Chicago area, metropolitan area. So
But
anyway,
I
hey,
don't
let's
think
get
none
to
of
the
y'all
next
was mistaken
question.
for me.
Right. Hey, how did the Bears defense look today? Who wants? Let's say Plank started off since he's a defense guy.
We
He's a
got to answer
defensive.
this question.
We made 0 tackles. We don't want to tackle anybody. Danny Trevathan was running like he was running track. He couldn't catch anybody. Shelley kept making this, business decisions as far as his tackling ability or lack thereof. I don't know who Eddie Jackson is. If I see him walking down the street, I'm gonna run a fly pattern on him right away because I can score on him at 56 at this point. So the Bears did a terrible job from a defensive standpoint. Aaron Rodgers was clean, and he had that arrogant look on his face that I can't stand. So I give him an F. Woo!
You get a defensive F.
An F.
Man.
Dang.
I like it. I like it. I like it. So I'll go next.
Hey,
Okay.
I'll go next.
Uh-oh.
Go next,
Davis.
Jay.
Chuck Pagano had such a bad day today. You cannot blitz Aaron Rodgers with a defensive back in hopes of a linebacker is going to cover a slot receiver. What is that? You can't do that. 0 pressure on the quarterback. I think the Bears had 1 sack. Everybody was always like getting close, but getting close don't win no ball games. So I'm with Keith. I give this defense an F today. After Roquan Smith went out
Brutal.
and Joshua
Thank you.
Woods came in, it just got worse. It just got worse. Duke Shelley, I understand you're a rookie, bro. I understand. Valder, what's the new guy named Valder? Whatever his name is, number 22.
Him.
Dude,
Vendor. Yeah.
him.
That's a good number. That was
Yeah.
my
Yeah,
college
Vildor.
baseball number.
Yeah. Y'all was bad today. Eddie Jackson, you out here that got paid and ain't trying to make no plays.
Right.
They didn't throw the cow full aside today, so you can't really say nothing. I ain't mad at Trevathan because he did the best he could in the situation that he was put in. But Robert Quinn, Khalil
Dealing
Mack,
money.
and Akeem Hicks, like I said on the pregame show, this was a money game. And Hicks, Mack, and Quinn did not show up.
And they had the nerve to talk about they were reading the bulletin boards all week. They didn't show up at all. So
That's why. Yeah. You know what? I'm about to bring my friend back. You know, thanks to my brothers that follow me. I can't do the rest because of course, it's a child friendly broadcast. But I really don't understand why there isn't a level of humility when it comes to the Bears defense. I mean, guys talk about, oh, they can do this, they can do that, but why can't you understand that we have some deficiencies in the backfield? Why don't you run a cover 2? Why don't you run a 3-3-5 nickel where you got 5 guys back there, and if a guy kind of juts out and comes around off of whatever You got guys in front of them that can stop these dudes because I would rather see a guy give up 20 yards and you tackled him than have a guy coming like this, looking at the front and watching the guy score a touchdown. One, it is paramount to know that you're supposed to KYP, you're supposed to know your personnel. There is not, to me, my personal opinion, Pagano, that was a fireable offense for you to have Trevathan one-on-one with a wide receiver.
Well,
I mean, Dungy, everybody's looking at this dude like, what the hell are you doing? I would and then let's get back to Mr. Shelley, bust the screen light. You can talk about being a rookie and all that other stuff, but you know what? It's like you can't make excuses when you're in the big boy league. My thing is this, and people laugh at me because I'm kind of joking, but I tell the truth. I'm like, you can't stop him. Trip his ass. Think about it. But think about this. As funny as that may sound, if a guy catches the ball, he's beating you and you trip him, that's a spot of the foul. That's much better than a touchdown. So you have to look at it from a standpoint of know your personnel. If I'm Chuck Pagano and I'm seeing that Shelley's getting beat, okay, fine. Blitz a nickel back. Or, like I said, my thing is now, my new thing, put Barkevius Mingo in because Mingo is way faster than Trevathan. Trevathan reminds me of that damn stray dog that you find in your backyard that you actually get. And then, like, when somebody breaking your house, he on a cord, you just let him go and he just go all crazy. Trevathan go crazy, but it's one thing to be crazy, but if you're crazy, but you're not fast, it don't mean nothing. It just means, I'm like, bye, you crazy son of a so-and-so. I see you later. You ain't going to never catch me. And that's what it looked like when he was sticking at receiver. But
Hey, let me go to
I give them the finger.
Okay, let's go to one of our other defensive specialists, Zemi. Hey, what do you think about the defense performance today, Tim? Oh man, looked like you went into prayer for a minute.
I think we get. Oh yeah. I think we give the Bears defense a little too much credit at times because we know we're Chicago and we're a defense first team. But you have to show up. The schemes aren't right. The chemistry isn't there. As a defense, it starts from the time you come out of the locker room for the game, man. You have to be prepared to gang tackle. You have to be prepared to cause turnovers, push the ball, do those little things that make you a tough defense. And we just didn't have it. We haven't had it in a number of games that we needed it in. We just had flashes of it. So I'm going to give the defense a C as well as just like the rest of the team, because I know there's some potential there. But again, it's personnel changes, as the guy was pointing out a minute there, putting the right people in at the right time to be successful.
Okay. Hey,
I gave him enough. Okay.
You gave out? Okay.
Yeah, personally, the same conversation every time we go against the Packers is you can't give Aaron Rodgers time to throw the ball. And the Bears somehow still, even though this wasn't his best game, I feel like he could have went off for 400 yards even. But even if they give him a little daylight to throw the ball, it's just not enough. And Khalil Mack, Akeem Hicks, the guys people were hyped up before the season started. They need to file a missing person report because I don't know what happened.
Have you seen this man?
This the same conversation we always have every time we go against Aaron Rodgers. They give him time to throw the ball, and when you look at Khalil Mack and Robert Quinn, them guys, they have to find some way to get past the offensive line. Even if they give Aaron Rodgers a little bit of daylight, he's going to find some way to connect, with his receivers. I can't even name 3 of his receivers, but somehow he makes him a factor into the game. Before today, I didn't even know who Valdez Scanlon was.
He didn't either.
Oh wow, really?
I only knew Devontae Adams. Personally, when I think about the Packers, I just think about Devontae Adams because that's the main target he throws to. But Valdez Scanlon, I didn't know who he was. I didn't know a couple of the other guys they didn't have either.
Okay.
But the main point is, yeah, they need to file a missing person report today before they go to the playoffs.
I think Donte. I think Donte earned his degree today.
Hey, Mike. Hey, Mike. I want to see what your take on this is, and also, you know, your girl Erica is rubbing it in, right? Hold on, let me put this up before I put it on the screen. Here comes Erica. Go, Packers, go.
Boo, Erica, boo.
Oh, go right here.
That's okay, Erica.
I didn't do that.
That's your girl, Erica.
Hey, well, first of all, to address the Bears defense, I had a harder time scoring with the chicks in college than on the Bears defense. And I was an All-American, so that's all I got to say about that. The Bears defense, and you know what? When I watch the game, I look at the numbers on the field, and I expect them to be who wore that number before them.
Yep.
And so maybe my expectations are a little too high because I see number 50 and I'm looking for Mike Singletary. I see 55, I'm looking for Otis Wilson. I see those guys' numbers, and I think that guy is him. I look at Kyle Fuller, and I'm looking for Devin Hester. You know, and one of my closest friends is Jerry Azuma. So I'm looking for those guys. These guys here, and I've said it before, the defense is not solid. They don't play the zone coverage well. You'd be better off running a jailbreak and just sending everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you have to lose? I've said it again too. I've seen a couple of these comments about Pagano, and I said the defense has not been the same since Fangio has left. No pressure. We just sitting back waiting to get scored on. And like I said, I had a harder time scoring in college with this pretty face.
You know what? That's kind of tripped out. That is tripped out because you know what? Here's the deal. When in college baseball, I wore the number 22, and God bless him, my lodge brother Dave Durison was my brother, and I told him, and I said, you know what, man? I said I wore the number 22, and the reason why I wore the number 22 is I used to love the way you played, where you were real silent, but you went out like an assassin. And for me, it meant a whole lot to have that number 22 on my back. Whereas when I played, I understood, I always did the research and the study of the people that wore the number 22. And I didn't want to be that guy where you say, regardless of my lack of success or success, where they could say, well, that dude wore the 22, he sucked. It meant something to me. So when that number on your back, like they say, oh, the number on your front and the back, but when you partake that number, you partake in a legacy. So get your butt in that number and play.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you mean, Quick, and I appreciate that.
So Tammy was one of the first ones on this broadcast early in the season. Tammy was one of the first ones to really start criticizing the defense for not being aggressive. And I know she referred to them often as they're not playing like monsters at a midway. And Mike pointed out they're playing like cookie monsters. But
berries on the freeway.
What you have?
So I'm gonna say this. I'm not gonna be as hard on the defense as Keith and Jay were. I'm gonna give them a D. But what I am gonna say is that you cannot talk smack and say what you gonna do and come out and play like
don't do it.
And then Aaron Rodgers smiling in their face.
The first half, they did nothing. The third quarter, they contained him a little bit. They made some plays. The first half of the first quarter, they were still somewhat keeping us in there. I will say this game was not as embarrassing as the last game. So that part was good. But at the same time, the game overall was not good. The defense, y'all might think I'm crazy for this. I don't know. But what I want the defense to do, and not to be the defensive coordinator, but to just be on the defensive coaching staff, I want to know, where's Mike Singletary? What the Bears need on defense is some heart. Some passion. They need to be deep. They need somebody that's gonna fire them up and make them understand what it means to wear a Bears uniform. We are a defense-driven team. And the defense, like I was one of the first to criticize the defense because even though Keith thinks I'm hard on the defense and we were just tough, I love the Bears defense. Chicago football is defense to me. That's what I grew up on.
After Vic left.
That's what I want to see on the field. I want to see somebody on the defensive side firing them up, like angry, like get these, y'all know I try not to curse, but the Packers make it curse. But
Tammy,
we need some fire. We need a spark and bring back some legacy defensive players that kick butt to drill something into them. Some pride.
You mad, girl?
Tammy, I agree with you 100%. I know you've been the hardest on the defense, and probably me and Jay probably been the second hardest. I mean, I'm so hard on it's probably considered hate. But this Bears defense is mediocre to me. It's very mediocre. Out of 16 games, 10 games or more without looking at the stats, they gave up over 25 points per game out of 10 of the 16 games. You cannot say a defense is good that's given up over 25 points 10 out of the 16 games they play. This defense is very mediocre. The guys on the line, they're not getting it done, and the defensive secondary is very poor. I give this defense today a D. They was close to an F to me.
Y'all generous. Y'all generous.
Tammy, you got Bernard mad now. Both of y'all mad.
When I moderated gets angry, y'all's in trouble.
Y'all generous. Y'all generous. Y'all give it a D. This was a total F.
Thank you.
Thank you. Total F. I'm sorry.
Jay,
I don't know what you're doing, man. I don't know what you're doing.
I don't know what you're doing.
Jay,
I don't know what you're doing.
This is worse. This is worse than an F. The grade that's worse than an F.
Go ahead, Mike.
Let me pose a question.
Incomplete. This is an incomplete.
Incomplete.
So what I've done, and really, if you really look at the Bears' schedule, because I've been going back and forth with people about who's the MVP, Aaron Rodgers or Patrick Mahomes. The Bears, the Packers have only played 4 competitors that have at least 8 wins.
Come on, man.
And the Bears, on the flip side, have played them same people. So if you're giving up 25 points to those people,
now you're talking.
You ain't sugar honey iced tea. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Because
absolutely.
that's playing defense is Chicago Bears football.
Absolutely.
You're supposed to get hit in the mouth.
Hey, I'm about to bring you back. Quick. Let me ask you a question. You being the premier defensive back that you were, what would you rather have? This guy who was a Mensa dude who basically could understand every damn playbook as possible, but that dude that had them doggone socks that had the elastic that was messed up, but he walked up to you and told you, he said, you know what? I'm willing to die right here. I'm willing to die. I don't care what it is. I want to die. What do I need to do? Which guy do you want?
Real quick, and I told you guys about when we talked about defensive penalties and taking the 15 yards and running across the middle. Real quick, shout out to my boy Drew Chris because he's the defensive quality control coach at Ohio State, and they got it done this weekend. So that's the guy who I want. And he wasn't the biggest guy. He was 5'10", just like me, and Drew would knock you out, man. It was just plain and simple. You're not running across the middle. Have a nice day if they can get you up and bring you back into the game.
Yes.
I mean, you have to set the tone by hitting the guy. Erica, if you sit there and make another comment to that, if you make listen, hey, Bernard, listen, what was so funny, and I hit Tammy up because the girls that I went to school with, one of them was like, if you talk to Tammy, you tell her that Matt Forte was mine first. I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. And Tammy said, no, he was mine when he got drafted. They going back and forth, and actually Rashida watching the show too. They going back. I said, y'all sound
I
like some
get
little
first
schoolgirls.
dibs on every Chicago player. I was born a Bears fan. I ain't just become one.
And she said, I was too. She said, I was too. And I met Matt
I
Forte.
was
So he
born.
was my
I
hood. I'm like,
bleed blue and orange.
Cat
And
fight,
they
cat
couldn't
fight.
get him on the field. I need somebody to go to the parking lot on the Bears defense and just clothesline Aaron Rodgers. Get him somewhere. I don't care if it's off the field at this point. Just knock him on his butt.
hey.
Right. Hey, let's get some letter grades real quick. What was the grade did you give the Bears coaching today? I give the coaching today a D overall. Plank, what you got?
Okay, I got offensive coaches. I'm gonna give them a C plus. Defensive coaches, I'm giving them all Fs. Special teams, I'm giving them an A. They made quite a few plays on special teams that denote competitive. So, and Santos is the MVP as far as I'm concerned.
Santos Claus.
What you got, guy? Hey, guy, give me your grades real quick. We're gonna wrap up.
Offense, man. Hey, defensive court, defense F. Offense, I get like a C. Special teams, I gotta get an A. You kind of average it out. It's probably like a high C.
Okay, Donte, what you have for grades?
Offense B minus, defense I for incomplete because until they fix something, I can't really get them a grade. This has been going on for the last 4 or 5 games, and it's worse quarterbacks coming their way. Hall of Fame quarterbacks they have to end up facing the playoffs if they're gonna do anything.
Okay,
So,
hey Zemi, what you got for the grades for the coaches today? C. Oh, his mic is on mute. Okay.
We'll see.
Okay.
See, okay, Mike, what you got?
I'm like Donte. You get an incomplete. I'm in doctoral school. You didn't turn your project in completely. It's an incomplete until you turn your project in. So you gotta wait till next year to get a grade from me.
Okay, Tammy, what do you have for the coaches today?
Defense D minus, offense D, special teams. I guess I'll give them a B. Overall, D plus C minus because they didn't get it done. The other thing that the defense didn't do was catch the freaking ball when they had opportunities for turnovers.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Like,
Hey, what you have, Jay?
Say the best for last. I get a defense an F. I'm sorry, y'all get an F. Y'all get an F in my book. The offense, I will give you guys a B plus. Because the bottom line is it wasn't really all on the offense, although y'all didn't score no touchdowns in the red zone. Y'all was efficient, and y'all really tried to keep the ball out of Aaron Rodgers' hands with time possession. And the special teams, I get them an A. They caused a turnover. They flipped field position a couple of times. So overall, as a coaching staff, I give them a C.
Okay, so this week we're going to be facing New Orleans Saints in the playoff. So we get a chance to play against the Saints. What day is the game? Is it going to be a Saturday game or Sunday game?
Right?
should be Saturday.
We don't know yet.
Should be Saturday.
We don't know yet.
Wait, first game was 23-20.
Isn't the wild cards on Saturdays?
Yeah.
Usually
Yeah, the wild cards on Saturday and Sunday.
Wild
Yeah.
cards on Saturday, I'm sorry. Yeah, so I think the first game, what was the score, Tammy? You said that we lost to them earlier?
No, I was asking, was the first game 23-20?
Yeah, I think it went to overtime.
That sound about right. So
we gonna get that, but
so we get
I
ready for
don't
the
know.
pregame. If the game is on Saturday, let's do the pregame on Thursday, and we'll talk about what do the Bears need to do, what the Bears need to do to win a playoff game next week against the Saints.
Playoffs.
You know we can't come in and play the same kind of defense, and we became the benefit. Did we finish 6 or 8 today? Oh, 7. I'm sorry.
7.
I think we're 7th. We were 7th. Yeah.
We wound up at 7. We wound up at 7.
Okay, so
what
we
would
have
have been
been
sweet?
adding that additional team.
Yeah,
What was that,
would have
Jay?
been sweet? What would have been sweet if we'd wind up at the 6th spot and wind up playing at number 4 or 5. That would have been sweet. Because we don't know who finna win the NFC East. Because this is the NFC worst.
Yeah.
right now.
No, those
You got a
guys.
team. You got a team that's probably finna make the playoffs with 6 or 7 wins.
Yeah, but they're gonna be in the 4th spot, and they're gonna have to play Mr. Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
third.
yeah.
Esquire.
Yeah, but I still like our chances.
So, hey,
But
we'd
we
like to
still
thank
beat them this
everybody
year.
who tuned. We'd like to thank everybody who tuned in tonight on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch TV. And if you're on YouTube or Twitch TV, hit the subscribe button down below so you know when the next broadcast is on Thursday. And we'd like to thank everybody who made comments on Facebook, who joined the broadcast. And we got to kind of about the Saints, but we'd like to say peace to everybody.
Well,
Have a nice
that's
evening. Peace. And on Twitch TV, but I just want to recap